So we're going to talk about dating market rejects. Now, this could mean a couple different things. Okay, L. What's up, Burbae? This is the video here that I did on my other channel. Y'all can go and check that out. Also, make sure y'all check out the video I put up today on this channel about Meek Mill and Puma and Skylar Diggins and Tommy Smith coming together for another campaign to help minorities. These campaigns never work. What's up, Wayne? What's up, King Gov? These campaigns never work, but they still want to do it. They still want to do it, but these campaigns never work. There's a few hours where Rosengun calls the Me Too movement a lie. It is a lie, Mad Joshua. I would agree with her. The Me Too movement is a lie. And it's contributing to why more women are probably going to be single in the upcoming months. Until more women start to speak out against the Me Too movement, you're going to see more women be impacted by this dating-wise. I don't know why some of them don't understand this, you know. This Me Too movement was hijacked and is being used for political reasons. Look at the Brett Kavanaugh situation. You know, it plays a big part into it. And that's what we're going to be discussing here as well. Y'all know what it is. Society is becoming more and more on top of its head, you know? They want the women to be masculine. They want the men to be feminine. This is why you never see films anymore where the female is the damsel in distress, because that's sexist. Make sure y'all like the stream too. Like the stream, people. It's sexist, okay, to put out a film where the female is a damsel in distress. So now you got bullshit like the Captain Marvel movie, which it might be a good movie, you know. If it is, it's going to be because of Samuel Jackson and some of the other people that they're going to have around her. This is why this is why the movie is going to be basically another Guardians of the Galaxy type movie. Because they know that particular female that they have as the lead role is not going to be able to carry that film. They want women to be more and more masculine. They wonder why men aren't dating them. There's nothing wrong with a woman being feminine. Nothing wrong with a woman playing her position. Now, I understand if you're choosing to sleep around and have unprotected sex, you're not using contraceptives, you're getting pregnant here and there, and you end up a single mother. You got to take responsibility for who you're sleeping with. Women brag about all the men they curve. But don't y'all notice it usually the women with multiple kids talking about how many men they curve? Well, okay, what about the men you didn't curve? This society wants weak men. They don't want us to show strength. They want to portray women as strong in movies, but as soon as you, like if a woman hits you and let's say you retaliate in sort of like a reflex manner, then they're upset at you, and because you know society is telling you that these women are strong, they can handle themselves, but as soon as you retaliate, they're upset at you. Shout out to Jersey Girl 732. I appreciate that. They want to control us in everything that we do, and we can't allow that. I think any logical speaking person wouldn't. Shout out to Tan, says I want you to watch Napoli Ever After and do a reaction. Napoli Ever After. Okay. Well, I'll check that out, Tan. What's going on, Neon? Raiders 48, what's good? Shout out to all the new people in the chat, or the regulars. Yeah, make sure y'all continue to like the stream as y'all come in, okay? What's going on, y'all? But the one thing that I really have to really look at closely is dating in 2018. You know, I discussed last year, late last year, I noticed more women were attracted to red pill men on YouTube. They're more attracted to the opposite opinions because they're so used to men, you know, kowtowing to them, bending the knee to them, telling them what they want to hear. They're so used to that. They're tired of that. I'm telling you beta males, you simps, they're tired of y'all lying to them. They're going to seek out the truth. So all these years of boosting their egos and their heads up, all for what? For them to still go in the opposite direction. Because at some point, women are going to get tired of being lied to. They're going to wonder why men don't take them seriously. They're going to wonder why they're always single. So the one thing I want people to understand, okay, is that this whole SJW crap that's going on in society, it negatively affects dating. Whether you want to accept it or not, it's going to negatively affect it. Like it is. It's going to affect it. So what you can do is just speak out against certain things that you see, certain hypocrisy that you see. Okay? Surround yourself with honest people who are going to be real with you. Not people who are going to lie to you. Not people who are going to tell you everything that you want to hear. Because that, to me, that's boring. To always be around people who make you, not make you, but they always want to tell you things that you want to hear. You know? What's up, Josh? So, I put up the video today with Tiffany Haddish. Here you have a woman who's not ugly, who is famous. She's doing very well for herself, but she's still struggling dating. And it didn't help the fact that she was throwing herself at a couple of these white actors. That didn't help. Okay? Now, when you look at her situation, okay, she was married previously. So we know that she doesn't have a problem getting men or attracting men. And that was before she got famous. What's going on, Rue? That was before she got famous. As if like she is now. But the fact that she has to reach out to the audience, again, it could have been another way for her to, go into these DMs. Because chicks don't like, Okay. Shout out to Josh. Says, catch me, Jay. I'm tardy again. Well, appreciate the late fee, Josh. Shout out to Josh. And the thing is like, unfortunately, you have a lot of these sisters, man. They don't understand why they can't get a man. Is it because you embrace this feminist ideology? That's one way to be single for a very long time. When you're embracing feminist ideology, everything is misogynist, everything is sexist. You sitting up here trying to befriend these white liberal females who do nothing but talk about you and use you. At some point, you have to look at what's going on in society and say to yourself, do I want to build a community with the black man or not? Because I'm hearing a lot of double talk. 1 minute, you want to side with these feminists. The next minute, you want to talk down to them about how they're treating black people or black women. You want to build a black family but you don't have a black man, and you are always criticizing black men. How can you criticize dudes who ain't really checking for you like that on a marriage tip? And that's what you see going on in society today. You know, you have a lot of women who are constantly complaining about what men are doing, but they're single. And if you are a woman who is attractive, if you are a woman who has a lot going for herself, you should never be complaining about what other people are doing. You should never talk about the white women are taking all our men. I'm surprised Tiffany Haddish doesn't use that excuse. But usually when you, because I've heard this a lot too, women will say, well, I don't get approached. No, you don't get approached by the men that you want. Just like y'all say that we don't get the women we want, that's why we complain. You know, you don't get the men that you want, that's why you're hurt. And the thing is that embracing this feminist ideology will keep you single. Embracing being a masculine female, being an alpha female, is going to keep you single. The only type of men who are going to keep, listen, man, no real alpha male wants a woman who's boisterous and want to talk shit and want to be controlling. No man wants to deal with that. The only type of men you're going to get is beta males. You're going to get beta males. And what's very interesting is that you listen to some females, they will tell you that they grew up with a father in the home. But they are kind of the opposite of what you would think a woman who was raised by a mother and a father would grow up. Because usually she probably rebelled against her parents. That's what these females aren't going to tell you. These females will talk about how great their father was and how they had a 2-parent home and how their parents were so great. But they still ended up dating men who are the opposite of their fathers. Opposite race, opposite ideology, less successful, way less successful, less educated. But you want to make it seem as if you grew up in a great environment with a great father. And we know this. And I'm looking at a lot of these women, man. They don't want to look in the mirror. And I'm not saying all, because there's some really decent women out there. I've seen them. I've talked to them. Some of them came from 2-parent households. Some of them came from single-parent households. But the way that they view men is different, because some women only view men as somebody to keep them company and not be lonely. They see them as just a social status, like saying, hey, I have somebody. I'm not a bitter single woman. I don't care how attractive a woman is. If she comes to you with that alpha female crap and talk about how she was raised by a man and she had a 2-parent household, trust and believe she rebelled against it. She rebelled against it. Shout out to Tan again, says they hurt. That's what it boils down to. That's what it seemed like. No alpha female, to me, comes from a household with a strong father. I'm sorry. That father was probably just as beta as the men that they date. Or he could have, or you have situations now where you have men and women who grow up in sheltered environments. And we all know that if you try to shelter a female, once she gets out of that environment, man, she's going to go crazy. Dudes, too, because you shelter dudes, they liable to do all kind of shit. Okay, they liable to do all kind of things. So you have to be really careful in that instance. So when you are in the dating market, let's say that, and I'm talking to you dudes, you have to be very careful. Don't just look to wife up a woman because she thick, because she, because you may like the fact that she is lighter skinned with curly hair. We know some of you brothers are into that. Don't look at the fact that she, just on the outside look good, but you don't really focus on the inside. And then when you get with her and she just flips on you, or she's making things miserable for you, you have to look at the fact that you went into the dating market and you went based off of looks. And don't get that chick pregnant, because once you get her pregnant, it's over, bro. You can kiss at least 25% of your monthly earnings or your monthly job salary goodbye. Probably more. Was it 25%? Well, if you behind, it's gonna be 25%. Might be 50%. I know some guys, they can't even file tax returns because they owe so much money in child support. And they work every single day, they work overtime, and that money's still going to the baby mama. They still can't file no tax return because they done got behind in child support. Because you thought because she was cute, she had a big butt, you're like, I'm gonna overlook the fact that she's dysfunctional. I'm gonna overlook the fact that she has a temper, she got anger issues, because she thick. And then you done fucked up. Now, look at from the women's perspective. You have women, man, they go into the dating market and they're basically choosing guys based off of how they would date in high school. You got chicks, man, they dating the same, they want to date, they in their 20s and 30s, almost now they're in their 40s, and they're dating the same type of dudes that they would have dated in high school. Y'all know the guys who used to be popular in high school, the popular guys in high school. Now these dudes is in between jobs. They got about 5 or 6 kids. Don't really have a place of their own. So these women will move these men into the household because these guys still have a remnant of swagger. What's up, Micto Dion? Appreciate that. They still got a remnant of swagger. So they want to deal with these dudes. And then what ends up happening is a dude ends up cheating on her, using her for her money. And then women will end up getting pregnant by these guys. So now, once she done got pregnant and once she done had the kid, now she wants to kick him to the curb. Well, wait a minute. You didn't kick him to the curb before you got pregnant? You know he ain't got no money like that. He already paying his other child's mother's child support. And that's one of the major problems we have in the dating market. You have a lot of women who are all sleeping with the same men because these guys still have remnants of swagger from high school. So all these women are getting with these guys, man. Because what happens is these guys still stay in the same neighborhood they did before. And these women, either they'll come back and visit family members or they'll still be living in that neighborhood themselves, and they end up dating these guys, knowing damn well these guys ain't got no reason to be in no relationship other than she wants to date him because, you know, he used to be a popular guy in high school. And then they want to wait until after they done got pregnant to have that moment of clarity where they realize he ain't shit. It's too late now because now you're about to have his child. So you can't just all of a sudden act like, you know, you didn't know he wasn't shit. Make sure y'all like the stream, people. Rebecca, what's going on? And that's a major problem in the black community, especially. A lot of us know people, we know females who a bunch of them have the same baby's father. That is a problem. And a lot of these guys, man, financially they ain't there. Now, a couple of these guys may have been dope boys or things of that nature, struggle rappers, but you know, now I'm not saying those guys don't have any blame. You know, those guys are sexually irresponsible, but these females are still opening their legs to men they know get around and having unprotected relations with them. And they know that these guys get around. There's no excuse for that. There's no excuse whatsoever to have have unprotected sex with men that you know get around, that you know have other women he's sleeping with. And you're still opening your legs to these men, but then you want to blame the men all the time. I'm sorry, you can't do that. And you overlook the men who don't have children. You overlook the men who go to work every day. They don't go to the club. They don't have a bunch of drama going on in their lives. Those men are boring. Those men don't have the swagger that you're looking for. Well, those men get the job done. Those men go about their business. Those men don't have to pay a bunch of women child support for 18 years or so. Those men can file tax returns. Those men pay their bills on time. But look at what you're stuck with. You're stuck with a dude who doesn't give a shit about you and barely goes and see your children that you have with him. But it's all the man's fault, right? It's all the man's fault, okay? It's easy to blame men in this society because everybody's going to side with the women. Everybody's going to side with the women. But we have to look at the fact that these women are still opening their legs whenever these dudes want it, unprotected. So, my thing is this. For the most part, I don't be around men who allow themselves to think with the wrong head all the time. They allow themselves to be controlled by the wrong head and get into relationships that they shouldn't be in. And the thing is this. We have to start surrounding ourselves with better people, because once you get certain people out your circles, you distance yourself from certain people, I think they'll get the picture. Because if we socially accept men who don't make good choices in women, or who don't try to make better for themselves, it's going to rub off on us. It's going to rub off on your group, because they're going to see that as, well, I mean, he's doing it and he seems like he's cool and happy. That's just going to rub off. Now, I'm not one of those people that's getting men off the hook, okay? But y'all got to understand, women brag about how many men they curve. They brag about how loyal they are. They brag about how they don't sleep with too many men. But how come you're still single? Even though you claim to be a woman who has high standards. And that's the thing. If you claim to have high standards, you're going to be looked upon to make better decisions. Because there are good, decent brothers out there, man. Y'all don't check for them. Y'all know y'all don't check for them, man. Y'all know y'all don't. Because if you were checking for them, I'm pretty sure your situation would be different. But pain is love, right? Pain is love, right? Y'all don't know how many women I see with dudes. I can tell. I can just tell. Man, she is taking care of this guy, helping him pay his child support, giving him money in his pocket, and he probably don't even care about her. Yeah, I see some people are triggered. See, the thing is that whenever you're not blaming men, it's an issue. Even though I just said that there are men who have to control themselves and think better and do better, they're going to overlook that because to them, women are always going to be, the ones who are, taken advantage of and manipulated. Listen, man, I've seen how women operate. I've seen how they operate. Invaded Minds, you a female? You say you wouldn't pay nobody child support, girl. But listen, you're never going to hear me blame men 100%. I'm not these other guys, okay? Let me just make that perfectly clear. I have been around women. I see how they operate. A lot of these women will act like they are pure, that they only been with one or two men their whole life, but they're still single, even though they hold themselves to a standard. And that's because these women have unrealistic expectations. So, okay, Invader Mind says she's a lady without children. Okay. So keep it that way until you get a ring, okay? But I've been around these females who will talk about all these, these standards they have with themselves, but they're never in a relationship. Or if they're in one, it's a relationship that's probably going to last maybe a couple of months and then it's over. So I honestly think that the dating market is rejecting certain people. You got women in their 40s going into retirement because they cannot find a man. So what they're doing is they're going on this celibate tip. No, you're in forced celibacy. You can say whatever you want about incels. There are females who have become incels too. And it's because they've had too much sex to the point to where they see all men the same and they can't really keep one, and their standards are ridiculous, Their standards are ridiculous. And you know what's interesting is that you got women, right, who are feminists, who are still talking about relationships and dating. You're a feminist. Why would you care? Why would you care about relationships and marriage? You're a feminist. You are the destruction of that. You are the destruction of the family. No, when I say high standards, I mean fake high standards. Like, they're fake high standards. Pretend high standards. Okay? They're pretend high standards. Fraudulent, fake high standards. Is what I meant by that. Fake, fraudulent, high standards. But you got feminists out here trying to talk about relationships and marriage. You're a feminist. Who cares what you think about that? That's why I'm telling you, feminists, especially the feminists in their 40s, in their 50s, are going to be the new incels. They're going to be the new incels, I'm telling you. You sitting up here talking about what kind of man you want. What? You done hit the wall. It's over for you. The dating market has nothing for you, okay? Hire you a new agent, okay? Drop that feminist BS, man. But in no way am I saying that men aren't to blame. Listen, there's certain type of dudes I would never want to be friends with. I would never want in my social circle, because to me they are failures because they think with the wrong head. Surround yourself with strong-minded men, man, who take care of themselves, and if they have children, they're taking care of those children with that woman. Okay? Those are the only type of dudes I respect. Dudes that handle business, you know? Or men who say, you know what, I'm just not going to have kids, period. I respect those guys too. Like, I don't like being around dumb people. I hate dumb people. Let me tell you something. High standards is when you want Nas or Tupac in a suit. When you want a man who got hoes, because let's be real, most of you women love men with hoes. Let's just be real. Y'all do not want men who don't have kids and don't have hoes. If a man don't have hoes, you're not dealing with him. Just be real. I've been asked by women, do I have hoes? And they're turned on by that. They're turned on by you if you have hoes. What's going on, Bella? That's why I think some of y'all are full of it. Desire Live Wire. That's an interesting name. But I have been asked by females, I bet you got hoes. What do you mean, do I have hoes? What does that mean? So you telling me that because you think because, you know, women are drawn to me, drawn to my voice and what I speak about, that means that I naturally have hoes? Did that turn you on? Come on, man. I'm telling the truth. I have literally had conversations where women will literally say, will ask me, do I have hoes? So we know that this stuff goes on. Y'all do not want a man who isn't sleeping around with other women. Let's just be real. If a man was to tell you females that he is celibate, y'all will think something is wrong with him. Y'all would think something was wrong with him. If he was celibate and single, didn't have the energy of a hyper masculine thug, you would think something is, especially if he's black. Especially if he's black. You would think something is wrong with him. Women, listen, women have said this. I'm not making it up. They've said it out of their own mouths that they do not want to be with a man who cannot attract other women. Because trust me, once a man say, you know what, I've been celibate for years, I haven't had sex in years, you're going to look at him like he's a weirdo, especially if he's black. Now, if he's non-black, then you know you wouldn't care anyway because he's non-black. You know, non-black men could be whatever and you'll still sleep with them. But not all, but some of y'all. Anyway. We know that I've been told this, I've heard this. Y'all can't tell me I'm lying. Y'all cannot tell me that you haven't heard a woman say that she does not want to be with a man who has not attracted other women or not have been with multiple women before. I mean, looks play a part into it too. I've seen women who have said they turned down a guy because of his looks or because of his height. So we know a lot of you females do have standards. You won't give certain guys a chance because you have a certain way about you. You rather be single than not date the men that you're used to dating. Listen, I know I'm right. Okay, I'm a very in tune guy. I listen. And I have done the research. I've had the conversations. So y'all know damn well I'm not lying. Now, it's going to be one or two of y'all that's going to go against the grain, but that's about it. So there aren't black women that will sleep with non-black men? Are you serious? Okay, y'all say that, but like I said, man, these guys in these, communities with multiple baby mamas, dudes out here with, 30 kids by like 20 something different women. Mm-hmm. How are those men still having unprotected sex with y'all? How? Even after 5 or 6, y'all should have been either, if you're dealing with that type of dude and using contraceptives, or telling him he got to wear a damn condom or 2. So let's not be naive, people. Let's not be naive, people. Let's not be naive, okay? Listen, I'm looking out for all y'all best interests, okay? I'm looking out for all y'all best interests. Because I know we got some decent people here. And like I said, I've had the conversations, I've done the research. Women have literally told me this. They've told me about the men having hoes and they don't want a man who ain't desired by other women. If females do believe men who are virgins well into their 20s, and men who haven't had sex in, let's say, a couple years, they do see that as weird, especially if he's black. Because there's a stereotype of us as black men of what we supposed to be. Y'all know that's true. Y'all know that's true. So, I just want y'all to understand, okay? We need to improve ourselves. We really do. So, yeah, make sure y'all like the stream, people. So I want y'all to understand, like, I'm not going to lie to y'all. I'm not going to make it seem like everything okay. I'm not going to talk about the surface level of the dating market or the surface level of the community. I'm going to tell you what's going on in the community. I'm going to do the dirty work. I'm going to be real with you. Because nobody's going to be real with you. Women do not like men, especially if they're well into their 20s, who are virgins or who've been celibate for a long time, or who do not attract, attention from women like that. Those men aren't desirable. We know this. So, Latasha, we know those men aren't desirable. Just to keep it real. And also another thing. Look at businesses in the community. You know, I watched a video last night. Was it last night or this morning? Might have been this morning. Of these Chinese people opening up a barbershop in a black community, right? And that's a little side note. All the barbers are Chinese. And pretty much every man in there getting his haircut would look like he was over the age of 50. And there was a guy recording asking them why are they patronizing this place if they won't hire black people. Now, the guy who was recording seemed a little, hurt that he couldn't get a job. But that's a whole besides the point. But the old heads in there, they're basically like, yeah, I'm going to patronize this all Chinese barbershop. F you brothers. Okay, shout out to Cooley High. It says just supporting black business and entertainment, musician, Cooley High. Well, I appreciate that, bro. Shout out to you, man. The big super chat. Appreciate that, bro. Ski. But, this guy was recording this, and the guys that were sitting there getting their haircuts, you can tell they were older by their gray beards. And I said to myself, this is exactly why our community has failed, or at least over the last 40 years. We can talk about what the government has done. We can talk about that. But there should have been a resurgence of leadership. But when the women in your community have chosen to take up leadership roles, have chosen to, support the black pastors in the communities, to not use that high level of education to bring businesses back to the community, there's a clusterfuck that is going on. There's a clusterfuck going on. Now, I didn't see no young dudes in that barbershop. I saw older black men who have look like they got grandkids patronizing this Chinese barbershop. Now, I would like to know what the conversation is. I would like to know what the conversation at barbershop, because the barbers all speak Chinese. And I said to myself, that was sad. But again, when you have no leadership in your community, hold on, let me see if I can find it. When you have no leadership in your community, man, stuff like this is going to happen. Stuff like this is going to happen. Now, I'm not saying that those Chinese barbers don't have a right to put their barbershop wherever they want to put it at. But you hear all this talk on social media about building with black people, and I see what happens in a situation where we ain't supporting each other. People are coming into the communities and they're out blacking us. They got clothing stores, they got motherfucking Popeyes, hair stores, now they got barbershops. It's like, when are we gonna stop talking and actually go put the work in? Again, I don't blame them Chinese for putting that shop there. They say, you know what, we smacking around your women, we don't respect your men. We gonna put a all Chinese barber shop in your community. What you gonna do about it? And you got the older brothers in the community getting their haircut. Now, I don't know what the haircut prices is. Maybe the prices are cheaper. But I'm trying to figure out what kind of style is the Chinese dude's gonna get. Are they giving you the fade, or, are they just lining you up? You know what I'm saying? Are they giving like the box fade or the short fade? You know what I'm saying? They're just lining you up, trimming your beard, I'm just trying to figure out, like, were the prices that cheap? Because I mean, I'm serious. I am dead serious about this. The next thing y'all gonna see is Chinese pastors. That's what y'all gonna see next. Y'all gonna see Chinese pastors. I'm telling you, you gonna see Chinese pastors pastoring churches in black communities. I swear, that's what you gonna see next. Because they're looking at how can we continue to get money out these black people. Let's start a church. And I'm telling you right now, they gonna start having churches. Cause like in my city, there's a Korean Christian church in my city. A real Korean church. It's a small one, but they got one in my city. So imagine if these Asians figure out that these black pastors are cleaning up in these churches. They're gonna start churches. Okay? Now I would love to see who is patronizing those churches. Okay, because we all know is majority black women in the church right now. I wonder who's going to patronize churches if you have Asians go there and start with running churches. I'm telling you right now. Yeah, man, they got a Korean church in my city. I'm looking like, damn. They know where the money at. Come on, black people. Y'all got to do better, man. Come on, man. Now, there's this Chinese place that I order from every now and then. At first, they didn't have black drivers. But now they have a couple of black drivers. So I give them kudos on hiring black. Okay? So I'm telling y'all, look out for that. Imagine an Asian pastor pastoring the church with all these niggas. And I'm telling you, man, that's where it's going. To keep allowing your businesses and your culture to be soaked up and soaked up and soaked up. But you want to blame white supremacy. Bro, white supremacy ain't got nothing to do with these Asians coming in your community, setting up shop, starting businesses, barbershops, chicken joints, clothing stores, Chinese Burger King. Yeah, man, I mean, that's what it's going to be. Because the men who are supposed to be the leaders in the community, they're like okay with it. James Harden barbers Chinese. I wonder if that kicked off the barbershop. Oh, really, Betty Boop? His barber's Chinese, but well, if he's probably a Chinese guy that's around black culture a lot, and he probably learned the styles and you know. And James Harden be having kind of weird haircuts, so you know. But it's just maddening to see what's going on, man. We got to stop talking and start doing, man. It's getting real out here, man. But we want to look at white people 24/7. No, there's other people out there we need to look out for, that we need to be competing with. Competition, okay? That's what we need to have in our minds, competition. Even though the generation before us has given up, we don't have to give up. We don't have to give up. We can continue to fight. We can continue that. And I think that if you look at the way things have happened in our community, exactly, we are born to accept and move on. Yep. And the men who are older than us, who are supposed to be leaders, they've basically given up. Because when I saw that video Pretty much all the brothers in there were older. Damn near like they was in their 50s and 60s. And they didn't want to hear nothing about no black empowerment. Nothing. They don't want to hear nothing about supporting no black business. They didn't care about that. So I just want people to have a more logical viewpoint. Tan, I wasn't planning on taking calls today. I may take calls in the next show. I want to have more of a topic that's I can do calls on. But I just want to talk about these dating market rejects. I know I got off of it for a minute. The only way to get respect, people, is to have influence, money. You have to be able to influence people with your money. What you do with it, how you spend it. Why do you think you having why do you think you have Puma trying to do campaigns of diversity? Because they understand where the money is, but we don't utilize our money in the right way. The rejects, are the people who can't keep a man or the people who can't keep a woman, basically. The people who continue to be single because they don't know how to maneuver in a relationship. Those are the rejects. Like your Tiffany Haddish. Tiffany Haddish is a reject of the dating market. She's a main example of a reject. Yes, invading minds, I'm single. Do you want to date me? Invading minds wants to go on a date. Maybe. I don't know. But Tiffany Haddish and some of these other women, what her name is? The black female from Saturday Night Live. Can't think of her name right now. But she's definitely single and free in the dating market. You know? Yeah, Amber Rose too. Yeah, she's another dating, but I think because she has a big ass, and unfortunately there are brothers that like light-skinned women like that, she's going to continue to get their attention. Yeah, Leslie Jones. Leslie Jones is all in the dating market. She's been floundering. She needs new representation to get her out of the dating market. To put it on IG like Tiffany. Put it on IG like Tiffany. But yeah, women like Leslie Jones, Black China too, who I think may win Thought of the Year for this year. She's been keeping a low profile recently, but shit, you know. But hey, you know, you can only keep a low profile before you do something real thottish. Okay, I think she's going behind a couple different dudes too. So Zargon, sliding in late. What's going on? But shout out to everybody that's here, man. Yeah, Jersey Girl, real big asses is the shit. Fake big asses or not. You know, you can tell a real big ass from a fake one because a real big ass is you can actually grab it and you know what I'm saying, it feels real. But a fake one, you grab it feels like a hardened balloon. Feel like a water balloon. Feel like a hardened water balloon or some shit. Or like a bouncy ball with water in it. That's what it basically is. She definitely secured a spot, absolutely. But it might be some other chicks doing some really hoe shit. Kim K put up a photo today. where she was showing her body off, showing little to nothing to the imagination. So we may have to throw her in there. So we definitely would have to assess those things, and that's one of the things. Yeah, just with breasts, right? Yeah, but Kim K is the only one making money from being thottish. She's the only one that's making money from being thottish like that. All these other chicks, they need a man with money. They're using their thought ways to get them a man. That's why a lot of them are still floundering in the dating market, signing 5-month deals. You know what I'm saying? True ATLM was good. Amina sliding in late was good. No, rejects are not fake people. Rejects are real people. Amber Rose be signing like 8-month deals out the dating market. After her 8-month deal is over, she right back in the dating market. But sometimes some of these chicks can get released before their deal is over. Like trying to be signing like a bunch of 1-year deals. You sign a bunch of 1-year deals, or in the NBA they have like the 10-day contracts and shit. And be right back in the dating market. Some of these chicks need better representation to represent them. No, men don't love thoughts. Men love to sleep with thoughts. That's probably true, but I think Amon really cares about Tiana. He puts up with her, so I think he really cares about her. Yeah, Amber Duff, she's on a bunch of 10-day contracts, a bunch of them. Yeah, once you hit the wall, man, it's a wrap. As a matter of fact, speaking of hitting the wall, I plan on doing another installment of Women Who Hit the Wall series. Now, I'm trying to figure out how am I going to do it, where I'm going to put it. I may put it on this channel, or I may put it on my Jada Black Redux channel. So y'all definitely make sure y'all are subscribed. I've had a lot of inspiration to do those videos. Yeah, I mean, Amon he's pussy whipped. I think she gives him freedom to do what he want to do, and I think that's enticing to him. Hitting the wall means that you've reached your physical peak, and you start to decline physically. That's hitting the wall, that you've declined physically in your looks. I thought of women who wear a medium in shirts, but an XL to 1X in pants. And it's annoying when people ask you who your pumper is. Shaking my head to South, real about it. Well, L, I'm from the South. And, yeah. Some of these chicks are fighting the wall, man, but years of wearing makeup and fucking with your facial features, man, will get you to the wall even quicker, Yeah, women only want to settle down once they have hit the wall, because they realize they can't get the same attention from the guys that they were with previously, and that's what you see. So we really got to look at where things are, You see many women getting deals because of their thought behavior in the first place. I mean, that's true. But that's why women like you and others have to speak out against that behavior, and set yourself out from the crowd by just being natural, being yourself, Don't get influenced by these heifers who need to get surgeries in order to compete. Because there are a lot of unattractive women getting surgeries just to compete. They getting the blonde hair and lightening their skin because they can't compete. They can't compete. And we all know that women who can't compete will then start to complain about featureism and colorism and all these excuses as to why they can't get a man. You got female YouTubers who are in the dating market that can't stay, they can't get no contracts. They need new representation. Why was you about to give in to the pressure? Never give in to the pressure. Always be yourself, because there's always somebody there for you. You know what I'm saying? Now, if there's a guy that you're trying to impress, of course you're gonna give in to the pressure because you're trying to impress that guy. 80% dudes are the representation. Yeah, competition is fierce. It's very fierce, I'm single, career-oriented, loving, caring, looking for a comparable man, marriage-minded as I. Okay. Well, desire. Are you desiring a man who's a 9-to-5er, or a man who is seeking to be an entertainment guy, seeking to be, one of these guys who wants the attention of multiple women? Because y'all know what I'm talking about when I say that, Not even a 7-day contract. Show off my brand, that we all have a brand that we should follow. And I had it. Well, what's your brand? What is your brand? Is it your facial features? Is it your body? Like, what is it? Is it your mind? Is it just your talent? Do you have a talent? We all have a talent. We all can compete and be great at something. I ain't making my girl do anything. But I told her before we have any type of kids, I gotta see you make real money, contribute. So she's about to get her CDLs, and we were running teams. Oh, that's cool, Tan. That's cool. I could definitely see that. That's very interesting, man. I'm the type of guy, I don't mind paying all the bills, but I don't want no female to feel like I'm going to just take care of her, especially if I don't feel like that relationship's going to go very far. So I could see you brothers saying, you know what, man, you got to bring your own, to the table. You know what I'm saying? I definitely can see that. Thank you, Jersey. Making my relationship where a man is hard for her, but doesn't make as much as I think that he needs to be, if he's going to be in that type of relationship, he needs to be with a woman that respects him, that respects the fact that he works hard. That just because he doesn't make more than her, that doesn't mean he's less than her. You know what I'm saying? Well, that's cool, Desire. Be natural, Desire. Be as natural as you can be. You know what I'm saying? There's a brother. I mean, if you like brothers, there's a brother who's gonna appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? There's the saying goes, there's somebody for everybody, but you have to make sure that person is long term. You can't just pick a person because of their looks all the time. You can fix certain aesthetics, but you can't fix qualities. You can't fix qualities. You can't. You either have them or you don't, But you got women who I think be lying about having fathers, because with that mindset that some of these chicks have, this feminist mindset they have, I highly doubt that they have a father. I really highly doubt that. Yeah, big shout out to the natural woman. God-fearing man. No, I'm talking about having an active father in her life. Some of these women be lying, or it couldn't be that they're lying. It could be that they rebelled against him. They could have took him for granted, and that happens. You have women who have really good fathers, and they will rebel against him, and they will go and do their own thing. And then once they realize he was right, years later, then all of a sudden they change back course. You know what I'm saying? They change back course. I'm an appreciated side dude. Keep doing your thing, man. He's an appreciated side dude. Shout out to the appreciated side dudes out there, man. Yeah, man. I think some of these chicks they take for granted what they have because they want to be with their friends. They want to fit in. Like you got people who come from really, well-off backgrounds. They will still try to act like the people from the hood. They'll even date people from the hood just so they can fit in. But then years later, they realize how stupid that was. And you didn't appreciate what you were given as a child. You don't appreciate the fact that, you are in you were in a good situation growing up. Don't shout out the side pieces. No, don't shout out the side pieces. I tell my girl all the time, like my homie Jay said, if I was an athlete, I'd be single till I retire, or I'd meet somebody just as heavily invested into their craft like me. Yeah, like if I'm like, look, if I'm a pro athlete, I'm gonna be single. I ain't got time for no relationship because, first off, she just gonna be spending my money, bringing other dudes in my house, cheating on me. Because as soon as I retire and I'm home more, that relationship's gonna flop. That relationship's gonna fail. So I'd rather just wait till once I'm retired, then I can put more focus in building a family. But some of these guys, they want to do it all at once, so. A side dude that loves his role, all right then. Big toe all day. My friends trying to get with a married woman myself. I don't fuck with people who do shit. I mean, shit. That's your dude's friend. As he, hey, that's crazy. But that's not uncommon. I think I've heard of that before. Dating somebody that's bipolar, well, I would say is try to be less confrontational, because a bipolar person is very confrontational, especially if you disagree with them. You can do that. You can kind of walk around eggshells, but I would say just don't be as disagreeable if that's what you want to be in. But I don't recommend being around bipolar people like that if you don't have to. Jay, shut up, you good with me, homie. I appreciate that, Jersey girl. As you grow up in a two-parent home, I see you have a little drama-filled life, which you are very smart thinking that way. Well, when I was younger, both my parents were married. Then they got divorced. But my father was always around. He would always come and see me and my sister. So he was that balance that I needed, My father, he's a very outgoing person. So he could reach you, like he could talk to you. Now he can get, very angry, but he could also talk to me in a manner that I would understand. with Pandora, don't lose hope. Just understand when you're with somebody who's bipolar, you there's certain risks you take, you know, and being agreeable is one of them, you know, and not really having your own mindset because you know those people are gonna flip. That's just from my experience being around bipolar people. Bipolar people can be cool sometimes, but other times when that other side of them comes out, you know. Jamal, I definitely don't support thought, so I can agree on that. But you got to protect yourself, man, because there's a lot of pitfalls out there, you know. But saving thizots is not one of them. Saving thizots is not the answer. It never will be the answer. Okay? It never will be the answer. And I hope that people understand that when you take the red pill, you see things in a manner that is different from everybody else. So you can have an opinion on something and people will disagree with you, but they don't see that long term you're actually making sense. Well, MGTOWs are happy to be single. That's the thing. A lot of MGTOWs have money, they have resources, they've been married, they've been in and out of relationships, and they just said, you know what, I'm not going to do it. Now, you got some MGTOWs that will still date. You have some MGTOWs that will just go MGTOW monk, which is a very, is a very small number. That's for people who just are swaying off women completely and just going into their own sort of like no sex, no relationship zone. But I think that's a very small number. But MGTOW is going to grow and it's going to progress. It's only going to rise, you know. The ideology is going to spread. The searches for MGTOW content are probably going up in the past week or so. So just understand that, like, the dating market is unforgiving, you know. It's very unforgiving. So understand, you ladies, men are just not going to be interested in relationships like that. They just not. What's good, Ed? So what I've come to appreciate about myself is how much self-control I have, you know, when it comes to being around women, getting attention from women. Because when I was in my early 20s, man, shit, man. How is my dating life? My dating life is here and there because I don't date much, but when I do, it's just with one female at a time. It's not with 5 or 6. I may talk to 5 or 6 different women, or 7 or 8, 9, 10 different women. But as far as dating, I'm only going to choose one. I can't do the whole multiple thing. I don't know how you brothers do it. I used to do it when I think I was a little younger, but now, I mean, it's a headache. You know, it's a headache, you know. It's definitely a headache. Regina, way, man. With options, it's like buying water at the grocery store. At best, you are the sinner. And there's plenty of different water brands, you know, definitely. Damn, Amina, you want to know how many times I've gotten it in, Amina? Wow. Amina want to know how many times I've been getting it in. Well, Amina, why don't you guess how many times I got it in? Yeah, I don't buy Deer Park water either. I buy Niagara water. Niagara water is very good. They have the jugs and they have like the strap that you can carry the jug with, you know. Amina, I mean, how many times you think I done got it in? Asking me personal questions about my private life. And bear in mind, I don't kiss and tell, you know. But I want Amina to guess how much I've gotten it in. Yeah. You know? Amina say she's gonna guess. I'll try to say if they're prying into your info, they're agents. Just saying. You know? Yeah. Right there, you got so many fans on YouTube. I would say your popularity is high up there, but you got value. So I'm gonna estimate you have about 10 times per month average. Amina. Shout out to Amina. Amina. If Amina was in a relationship, maybe I can, you know, really get her to, never mind. You know? Amina, you there? Amina, you there? I mean, I do have a high sex drive. But I'm good though, you know? You know? I started a channel because I wanted to speak on shit. You know, I wanted to really go and speak about my experiences out here. You know what I'm saying? And speak on these bullshit behavior of some of these females. Jamal, it's all cool, bro. Yeah, I'm definitely not in the horse category. I'm more. Well, it's easy to find those photos. But I'm cool though. I'm very reserved. Like honestly, I don't sleep around like that. Like I don't. Like I don't. So I know a lot of you females be wondering, but I don't sleep around that. I have very good self-control. I've gotten better and better with self-control over the years. When I was younger, but now I think I've gotten better with self-control. So I'm very contained. You know what I'm saying? Very contained. You know. But yeah, women always want to know. Again, women are always curious about whether dude got hoes. They will say, well, they'll want to deal with a guy if he has a bunch of women. You know what I'm saying? And I think women think that, they internalize that like, if you're a popular guy, you got different women, you got hoes, and that's not even the case. It's just that people just like what I have to say. You know. But yeah, I don't seek out relations like that with females. You know what I'm saying? As I used to. I'm good on that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm very contained. I'm very controlled. I should be asking some of you females how much are y'all getting it in? Like how much of how much are y'all spreading the eagle? How many of y'all are spreading eagle? How much and how frequently? Do you have side dudes? Do you have some side dudes? L says a lot. Cause I'm pretty sure some of y'all got some potential side dudes that you're talking to right now. Ain't nothing going on right now yet, but you're like, you you thinking about the what ifs if you sleep with them. Yeah, come on, man. Y'all know that. I'm pretty sure I would believe you. I mean, I think I would. L says not anymore. Oh, is it? Okay, Pandora. Pandora, you kind of young too, so I can see why you on the band with like maybe two dudes. But keep it that way. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to get caught up out here. Because a lot of these people are sleeping with some head iron. What's up, Jamaica? People think that I think I'm better than everyone just because I saved myself from marriage. Now that we're divorcing, it's time to let the thizzot out. Just joking. Okay, Jamaica. Okay. Oh, okay. Amina. So you're basically an incel, is what you're saying to me. Is it hard? You in a whole place by yourself, and you want to get it in, but it's like you're holding yourself back. Okay. Well, Jamaica, like I say, get it in, and party time, Jamaica. Party time. Party time for Jamaica. Party time. Oh man. Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure in your mind, you're thinking about, potential side dudes. I know you're not gonna say it, but I'm pretty sure you have. You you probably weighing the pros and the cons of, so you get with this dude, what will happen? Can you just forget about it? Is it gonna be one time? Because one time can become two, and then three, and then four, and then five, then six. Next day, you delaying your trip to go see your dude. You delaying the trip because you like your situation. So, you know, hey, that's how it can be, man, when it's long distance. That one time can become about 15 times. Next thing you know, you end up moving the dude in. Or calling him your brother on social media. You got all these pictures like, that's your brother? Why you got all these pictures with your brother? Your best friend. You know damn well it ain't your brother. That ain't your friend. That's your really good friend. What's going on, Marie? What's going on? To have side dishes so he can be satisfied also. But he not a cuckolder. He not with that shit. He smacked me. Oh man. You say he don't want you to have any side pieces, or you say him to have no side pieces, because you know. But anyway, like I said, y'all, you know, you got a good thing, I guess, together. Both of y'all are saving yourselves for each other, which is interesting, and it's probably good that you're saving yourselves for each other. You know, I guess that time when y'all meet up is gonna be explosive. Okay. It's going to be an explosive meeting. No, I'm not high. I'm having fun. This is how I have fun, man. Hello? This is how I have fun during the stream. If you're falling pregnant by the wrong man. Well, if you're getting dick from a dude that you don't want to be with, and it just so happens to not be, you know, well, you know how that story goes. Dion says he's burning one for me right now. Go ahead and burn up, bro. Yo, go ahead and burn one up for me, man. Shout out to everybody that's here. You know, I want to put on a really good show for everybody. I will start taking phone calls again soon. Because I really like hearing y'all perspective, man. I know I got some very interesting characters, you know. Interesting characters. Hope y'all like the stream. Make sure y'all go and check out my other video I put up today. You know, I'm building a paper plane right now. There you go, Vic. Vic say he making a paper plane. Listen, if you late to the stream, I don't know what to tell you. I've been live for an hour and a half, and I've been talking about the topic. So I don't know what to tell y'all. Y'all be rolling in late talking about what's the topic about. I'm pretty sure I have a topic in the title. There's a topic in the title, okay? I'm going to start writing a description for y'all so y'all can read that too. I'm going to start writing a description so when y'all get into the stream, y'all will see a description and y'all will see what I'm talking about. You know, I'll make it at least about 3 or 4 lines so you get a really good gist of what I'm saying. Yeah, man. I mean, you got people that are coming here. Jane wants the topic, Jane. I'm going to start. Oh, okay. Well, you playing the new Assassin's Creed? Have I traveled overseas yet? No, I haven't traveled overseas yet, but I want to. There's a couple countries I want to visit. You know, there's a couple countries, Asia I want to visit. I definitely want to visit Africa. But let's see, what else? I want to visit What do I want to visit? I want to visit. For some reason, I want to visit the UK and Northern Europe, like Norway and some of those other places. Yeah, saying Jay, what's going on? Ain't nothing going on but the rent, sir. What's going on is the stream is popping. You know? Thank you, Young. Appreciate that. Exactly, be friends. Hopefully y'all subscribe to the other channels, man. Subscribe to the other channels. Check out the video I put up today. To watch you come back with a wife. Come back with a wife to America? Man, so she get a taste of that Real Housewives of Atlanta and, you know, Basketball Wives. Shit. 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 You know, if I'm gonna marry, she gonna stay exactly in the country she in. And I'm gonna probably stay there, probably just stay there. Look, if I get with a woman outside of America, I might as well just stay there. Bringing her back to America is a lost cause. As soon as she get around these sisters, she start watching these reality shows, hell to the no, no. That's not going to happen. I might as well just stay in that particular country, because as soon as she come back and watch this Americanized TV and get around these heifers who gonna be telling you, you ain't gotta listen to him. I said hell to the no, you know. Military guys do it all the time. Yeah, I think a lot of military guys would rather just stay in whatever country they station in instead of coming back here. I watch sports on TVL. That's pretty much about it. And as soon as football season over, I'm downgrading my cable package, because there's no reason to have it. Because I don't really watch much TV. I watch Netflix and Hulu, and I watch a little bit of Amazon Prime. And by the way, Amazon Prime, you get a bang for your buck. You know, you get streaming service, you get music, you get the TV shows, movies, and also the packaging. You know, but anyway, yeah, she'll get a piece of this Americanized culture, and then I'm fucked. I done, you know, spend all this time talking to her and dating her, and then getting with her, and bring her here, and it goes to shit. Yeah, I mean, are you going to be coming to America? Now, only a few. Now, maybe there are some foreign women that can handle the culture here. You know, it doesn't bother them. It won't change them. But that's very few and far in between. They have to understand the culture before they come here, and already sort of reject it. If they aren't rejecting it, you know they're going to embrace it. I mean, you say there's thoughts in South Africa. Listen, I have seen Instagram. There's a plethora of big booty African chicks all over Africa, West Africa, South Africa, probably Central Africa, and they be there. You know, they be deep. Okay. So you might be right about the thought thing. Went to the store, the chick at the cashier spot asked her, "Where you from? Don't pay for his stuff, girl." What? Hot clapper. Don't tell me that happened. I would have told that heifer, mind your fucking business and ring up my stuff. What they will do that is you got a lot of these bitter women. They see you with the foreign chick, they get in their feelings. Oh, you dating one of these chicks from another country, huh? You ain't gotta listen to him. He ain't shit. And you wonder why relationships in this country are screwed up because of the mentality of these chicks, man. The mentality there, man. What was that? I mean, I haven't heard that before. What was that? Brothers went to the DR for a week. Then he's going to Brazil. I might go with him. You live like a king outside this country and work while you do it again. Yeah, I've heard the cost of living is very inexpensive. That's one of the things that would attract me to live abroad, because if I go abroad, I'm not just going to be there for a couple days or a couple weeks. I'm going to be there for months, probably years, you know, just to, you know, just become very familiar with the surroundings to the point of living there. She was mad and my girl Ashley had some damn sophistication and wasn't walking around with all that masculine energy. Well, women can sense other women who are feminine and they don't like it because there's a lot of masculine women out there, and with deep voices, you know, and they can't, you know, they're jealous of feminine women, you know. They're jealous of feminine women. And you got to keep these chicks who get jealous quickly away from women that you're in relationships with, whether she's foreign or not, you know. All right, people, I'm about to go ahead and wrap this up. Appreciate everybody for coming by and tuning in. Make sure you follow me on social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Hit me up on email. Y'all see it on the screen, JDBLackLive@gmail.com. You want to send me an email, articles, videos, just send it there. Even if I may not do an initial particular story, continue to send me stuff. I'll do it eventually. You know, but shout out to you. What's going on, Sean J? But the people said I wouldn't pay the money that the U.S. pays them for his skill. Oh, that's cool. That's interesting, man. Well, man, I'm pretty sure you'll be in America soon. See how we live here. You'll never want to leave. I'm pretty sure. Meaning you'll come to America and you'll never want to leave, especially if you meet me. I appreciate that, Mina, everybody. I love each and every one of y'all. Y'all have been a good crowd, and I will be back with another live show, hopefully tomorrow. So y'all have a good night, all right? And enjoy the rest of your night. I'll see y'all in the next one, all right?